Hello, it's me again, der Bayer, and today we are starting a new automation campaign with the goal to build the best luxury cars in the world. The boundary conditions will be basically no money and 100x difficulty. I'm starting in Gasmir. The reason for that is that I probably never did a full campaign playthrough from Gasmir, and yeah, might be quite interesting to only have Helvetia in the start and then the high demand market Dalua in the very end. So the high demand market for luxury cars. Company by the name will be called Might Motors because they're pretty mighty. So yeah, the only thing I'm giving myself is a tiny plot and a tiny factory. You need a little bit of starting capital if you don't have any money, so that will give us a little bit to, yeah, basically take out a loan with. Yeah, we are missing a few points to get to 100x difficulty multiplier, so I will just upgrade market volatility and engineering time. Yeah, so 100% engineering time it is, and then we are ready to go. So let's take a look at the demographics. We have Gasmir and Helvetia, and a lot of demand for luxury cars, a few convertible luxury, and yeah, luxury premium is actually what I would like to go for, but 34 cars is not a lot and we won't sell more than 1 or 2 cars per month. And yeah, that's not feasible with the tiny factory, which is definitely outputting a few dozen cars a month. So we definitely have to go for luxury and maybe convertible luxury. Budgets are quite okay, 37, 42,000 there. Luxury premium, of course, would be a lot nicer, but yeah, let's try to do that, those two. And with the main market obviously being luxury because it's larger. Obviously, we need something large and we need a sedan with 4 doors. This one is a body I like. I will try to explain a bit my choices in the beginning, because I see there are not too many good campaign let's plays out there, and maybe you can learn a thing or two for your own games. So yeah, obviously when starting with a small factory, a tiny factory, we have no chance for steel presses to fit them in. So aluminium it is. Also, we will play a lot with leather frames in the beginning. Monocoques will also need at least a medium factory. So let's look at this. And yeah, for suspension, obviously, independent suspensions is important for comfort, and double wishbone, of course, is the premium suspension for the very beginning. For the engines, this will be something in the beginning we have to buy from a engine supplier, because we don't have any money to build an engine factory and it would produce way too many engines for us. So yeah, I'm trying to get high prestige out of the engine, not necessarily high sportiness, but also try to keep the cost down. How to do that is basically large capacity, many cylinders. Power is an afterthought. So yeah, obviously V12 it is. I could go for V16, but that's a bit overkill, and maybe we do that later when the luxury premium market is actually large enough. So for the beginning I go for 7.5 liters. And the rest needs to be cheap and not produce too much power so that it's still drivable. So let's go for push rod. Obviously here also a harmonic damper is important because it will make the car more smooth, and we can increase the flywheel mass, the balancing mass a bit, so that we have a very smooth engine. So here with the carbs, I'm currently comparing the cost. Basically, the eco carbs do make less power, but are more expensive. Economy is not so important for me. Maybe I just go with the cheaper option then. And now I'm basically just optimizing for high smoothness, nice flat torque curve, and still a bit of efficiency, so we can, for example, decrease the spring stiffness. With the fuel, I go for 92 because it's highest availability in Gasmia and Hedvisia, and I also don't want to make a lot of power. Yeah, that will be it. 130 kilowatts maybe. But I also could try to make the engine cheaper, and one way to do that is to reduce the family quality. So yeah, I'm running into stress now at -3 quality, but if you take a look at, if I hold the engine here and then reduce the quality, you see that engineering time is a lot lower, and I can use that time to make the engine cheaper afterwards, also during engineering. Yeah, I've prepared a car design. For those who don't know, here in the advanced trim settings, you can paste paste fixtures and paints from other cars. And with copy fixtures, you can copy them and paste them, for example, into a text file where you can retrieve them later on and paste them here. So that's what I do right now. So with the right order, this is pretty straightforward and fast. So first you do the morphs, then the advanced trim, then fixtures, then paint. And then it will look exactly like it did in Sandbox, with one exception, and that's the rims. Don't know why those are not saved in fixtures, but yeah, you have to do that manually. So I've prepared the car and it's time for a first optimization run. So typically I first build the whole car, and then when I have all the graphs, I go into all the sliders and set them to reasonable values. So here I just got rid of wheel spin by choosing longer gears. Medium tires are typically the most comfortable ones. Yes. Hard long life have less rolling resistance, so would be a bit better for prestige. And here in brakes, I typically go for slightly above the line for both brakes, front and rear. For the pad type, of course, for comfort, we choose quite something low. We run into a bit of fade, but that's not a big problem. I don't care about airflow too much, typically, so I'll just leave it where it is. Interior is one of the most things in our cars, in the luxury cars, and it never hurts to invest a little bit of quality here, but you have to be aware that prices shoot up, material cost especially, so don't overdo it, especially in the beginning when you don't have too much budget in your target demographics. Typically what I will aim for here in this Let's Play is to be in comfort and prestige better than our competitors, and not only just, but hopefully by around 10%. That means that I'm also still competitive a few years thereafter when the car is finished engineering. And here for steering I chose recirculating ball because it's more comfortable, slightly at least, and more drivable because the car is quite heavy already. Here I can adjust the weight distribution a little bit because it's so heavy. I probably shift a little bit to the rear. That will give us an easier time tuning the suspension for optimum drivability. The weight itself, for us, heavier is better because it's more comfortable and more safe. but yeah, it's also costly, and yeah, you could do a little bit, but for now I still don't do it, because yeah, first get the company up and running, and then we can build the ultimate cars. And here for the suspension, for luxury and comfortable cars, you don't want to be too quick into the corners, because then the body will roll a bit more. So you can also reduce camber a bit. And typically in the presets also the sway bars are way too hard for good comfort ratings. So we're through with our first run. Now let's check our competition. Okay, that's not looking too bad. We have 3 competing teams as of now. We don't have the drivability of our competitors. We don't have the sportiness, but we are better in comfort already by 3%, and a lot better in prestige. So in prestige we're already at our target. Comfort could be a little bit better. So let me see what I can still do. And always check your detailed stats if you don't know what to do. So here in comfort, I see gearbox is pretty bad. That's because we don't have automatic gearboxes yet, so nothing we can do about it. What else could we do? It's crazy that they complain about passenger volume. It's a huge car and only 4 seats. But yeah, there's not too much we actually can do. And I also don't want to spend too much quality. I am not sure what I should do, so maybe I just leave it as it is. I made it a little bit heavier. Now we're 5% better, so let's keep it like this. It's looking good here in luxury. It says price perception penalty because it thinks we are too cheap, but we will raise the price, of course. Luxury premium, even more price perception penalty, but yeah, that won't be our target market anyway. Right, it will have the creative name Mark 1. And yeah, this is the sedan, and I will create a convertible now. And don't forget to set your soft top here. 4 seats is what they want. I leave the rest as it is. Oh, it's oversteering a bit. And with that, let's head to engineering. So here, the most important thing is that we don't have money. We have a valuation of 2.8 million. That means our cost of the project must be a lot below that. And we can do that by shortening the time, by making it less reliable. My basic trick. I don't care about reliability. And yeah, we'll see what else we have to do to get the time down, but we still want the project to run for a little bit so that we have time for marketing to grow our brand awareness a bit, so that we actually sell a few cars. So I try to improve the process because the expensive interior will be a huge driver of our cost. So I try to save some money there. So yeah, aiming for 36 months, including the reduction already. 92k engineering cost is okay, I guess. The only downside is it will be really, really unreliable, but yeah, the rest is quite good. We even had the chance to set the pressure slider lower than default, so we will learn a little bit, which will help us in the future. Yeah, for the engine, I'm basically able to achieve similar things. 36 months, no cost, V12 for 41 production units. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. So we will order it in Gasmia because the labor costs are lower. Workforce skill would be higher in Helvetia, but yeah, labor cost is lower. So contract it is. Yeah, still an expensive engine at 8.8k. So yeah, ouch. Yeah, our car factory is tiny. So, and I think we cannot fit any upgrades. So Leatherworks would be nice for us, but we cannot fit it into the tiny factory. I want to be flexible with my shifts. So I start with 0. So the lowest should be 0.5 because I will probably not sell a lot in the beginning. And what I also like to do is to reduce my worker wages quite a bit. So in tiny factories, it still doesn't take a lot of time to fill it. And we even can raise the worker quality a bit. So I don't care if we have more. If it takes a little bit to fill my factory, then I will just sell the pre-orders later. And that gives us a nice possible profit per car. Still can optimize it a little bit with the automation tooling sliders because tiny factories are very cheap. I can probably get more out of this. Yeah, I can afford that construction cost. All right. So now what I'm doing here is to aim for about the utilization of one shift. That means I can survive if the economy is changing, and I can also, if the economy is growing a lot, I can still increase my production rate. So I will set the prices accordingly. So this is not looking too bad, I guess. Might even be a little bit on the low side, but I probably start with these values. And with this, we're basically done. The only thing that's important now is to check here. I can get more than 100% for my project, which is important because I don't have money, so I need to get more. I also need to set it so that I get more. So what's the total loan amount? You see it here, 665k. That's 240 more than the project costs. And that's exactly the money I could spend on marketing. So that's not a lot. I will increase it therefore. Still, the interest cost per month is not high, so I just take 200%. And I will pay 170,000 more for the interest. But I still, in the beginning, I want to keep my expenses low, so I just take maximum payback time. And don't forget to save and sign off. Exciting. We have signed off, and now one very important thing is to not forget about your marketing. Either do it now, or even better is to wait 1 month, because then you know how much money you actually get extra from the loan, and that is what you can spend on marketing without going into the negative. So, wow, 4,700K is what we can spend. And if you take a look here, so luxury and convertible luxury, they want comfort and prestige. And each one of those is just way too expensive for us. So what we need to do is to take a secondary stat and invest into that. And if you take a look here, we see that we have 5% on smoothness and 5.4% on footprint. Here we have 7.5 on smoothness and also 5.4 on footprint. So smoothness and footprint is probably what we want to do. In Gasmia, it's similar, but with less focus on footprint. So in Gasmia, we definitely do smoothness. In Helvetia, sorry. And it's quite cheap. Oh, footprint is very expensive in Gasmia because all of the demographics like huge cars here. So let's not do that. And so I'm at 6,700. This is too much. So let's do it like this. Now all we have to do is wait and see if we get some pre-orders. Now see here, we have massive income. Yeah, what's not so nice is the economy here. It's going down the drain and we are getting closer to our launch. It's 1.5 years away. Hooray! And we have sold our first car. It's the convertible. Very, very nice. So now with the pre-order money, we have 5,000 more to spend on marketing. And second car, or not second, we already have 3 here. So fourth car here, first sedan. Alright, now we are at 4 cars per month and I can afford something nicer in Helvetia. For example, comfort. Yes. But the economy is not really looking nice. Okay, I think I can afford something in Gasmia now. Yeah, let's go for prestige here. And we have reached the bottom and we are very close to selling and producing. It is production time and yeah, massive gains, but probably because yeah, that was for the factory probably. So next month we will get rid of all the pre-orders and then we will see where we really are. But I will still go for a bit of marketing. Okay. 44 deliveries. And it looks like we are currently not keeping up with the production of the sedan because we are first selling the convertible, which has a higher margin. But I don't think that it's looking all too bad. Automatic drivetrain will come in 1 year and that's when we will start with our facelift, I guess. Also reverse flow. Maybe I go for that, but that will require a engine facelift. I'm not too sure about that. So I still think we're massively overproducing and just getting rid of pre-orders, so that's why I reduce my maximum shift count so that we get rid of our pre-orders a little bit slower. But in general, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, we would only have 11 cars for sale each month, and currently we're still producing 27, which means even at 0.5 factory shifts, we would still be overproducing. So the economy really needs to recover, or I need to lower my prices. But yeah, economy is coming back, I hope. In the meantime, I'm collecting a bit of money. You could also say I should probably invest into something useful already in R&D. And that could be body or chassis, which is important and expensive, but also interior. And interior is where we will spend a lot of our money. So let's do that. If I can get it up to 2 years, I might have the phonograph ready in 1953. And that's when I probably want to design my next car. I'm not doing it yet. Okay, now we have reached a point where our pre-orders are gone and we are producing a little bit more than what we can sell. But we're luckily up to 14 cars now. And we're still making a profit. Perfect balance while building stock. I don't like that it is increasing the factory shifts. I will set it to 0.5. Okay, so we have reached 1950 and we should have automatic drivetrain available. So that's a good time to do the first facelift. So the only thing I changed was the automatic gearbox, and the rest is the same. I also don't update the engine yet with reverse flow mufflers. I don't think that's worth it. And the project is expensive, so we need to reduce the cost here. $21 months it is, 500,000 plus factory. Yeah, retooling also 100k, so not too cheap for our small pockets, but we can do this. We'll aim for similar prices. We were a little bit more effective because of yeah, the interior, which has gotten cheaper a bit. So we have a little bit higher margin as well. Still hovering around 1 shift. And for this one, I don't need a loan. I think I can do this. 800k or 600k is the project cost. No problem. So here we can also see where we are selling, and it's just a tiny part of the overall market. We limit it to our awareness, then it's a bit more. And we are not selling anything in Helvetia currently. Okay, maybe we are just a little bit too expensive. Yep, it looks like we are earning more. We are quite nicely balanced with our expenses right now, which is good for avoiding the tax man. As good as it gets. Now let's check our stock. Stock is increasing. We will have 3 months of downtime and we are around that mark already, so let's just keep it as it is. I'm just afraid that the economy will go down even further very soon. And now our sales are going down because we are already selling pre-orders of the new car. So we have to survive a bit. The factory is more expensive. Yeah, it's nice that it says it should only cost 2.9k and I have to pay 110. Thank you. And our facelift is ready. But it says my engine is not being produced. Let's see. Okay, no. It seems to work, yeah. Things are looking good. Currently, of course, we have a lot of profit because of all of the remaining cars in stock. And we definitely need that money because we will have a project coming up very soon. So I will do the next project whenever the interior is available, I think. My engine contract has a quality issue. Why do I have to pay this? High fixed difficulty, medium discovery chance. I need prestige, so I will just pay. Full recall. Good company. And with this, we only have one car in stock and somehow it doesn't want to sell, so I'll just scrap it. And now we are properly selling. Nice. Economy is good. And with this, we are in 1954. We have unlocked the phonograph, and that will mean a new car will be designed very soon. We have had a very successful start. Company valuation is up at 11 million. We started at below 3. We have 8 million in the bank, which must be enough for the next car. But that's already 6 million more than what we had for the first car. This time we don't get this 36-month engineering bonus, so it will be a challenge to get something on the market. We'll see which shortcuts we have to take. Probably, maybe, not designing a new engine. We'll see. If you liked what you saw, if you learned something today, and if you want to see how we further progress with Might Motors, then don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to see you all again next time. Bye bye.